George Takei, and he's the T-Rex of Talk Shoe. You're listening to The News Guy Show.
Oh, yes, it is. Coming in for that show once again, folks. It's the News Guy Show with your host, the News Guy, every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern over the News Guy Show Radio Network, and, of course, here on Spreaker.com. And if you are listening to this over the podcast, and you are more than welcome. Well, folks, such a big day today. So much news going on, and I really do know where to start today. It really is something that can only be explained by the following clip. If I can just come on, hello.
Is that your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad.
This man right here is your father? Right there?
You have a question about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was wondering if your dad really is an African-American man.
That's a very... I don't know what you're implying.
Are you African-American?
I don't understand the question of... I did tell you that, yes, that's my dad. And he was unable to come in January.
Are your parents, are they white?
Yes, that was Rachel Dolezal, and she is the president of the Spokane, Washington NAACP. Now, the questions that were posed to this woman by the reporter, a local news reporter, a news guy, if you will, it came about as the result of, well, a pretty long standing kind of a thing. But what really sparked it all was the fact that she was getting all of this hate mail. She, as a NAACP president and an activist in the civil rights community, and she's giving lectures about black hair and all kinds of stuff like this, she's getting hate mail and death threats. Allegedly. Now, as the police were investigating this, they found that it appeared that the hate mail that she says was left in her post office box was not actually sent there through the Postal Service. Someone had put this mail in her box without it going through, the whole system like that. So, on that level, first, you've got yet another civil rights activist, another one of these liberal left-wing activisty types who winds up faking hate crimes. And this is an ongoing symptom within the left-wing academia. We've had many instances over the years, African-American professors claiming that nooses were hung on their door when in fact they hung it themselves. Jewish people, I guess if you want to, I don't know what their positions were in these universities, claiming that they had anti-Semitic graffiti on their home. That turned out to be that they did it themselves. It always winds up being some sort of self-inflicted hate crime. I think there was one time, and I don't know I forgot the particulars about it, but somebody actually spray painted racial epithets over their entire car, N-bombs and all kinds of stuff all over their car, and it turned out, of course, again, that this person did it to themselves. Now, on the first case with Rachel Dolezal, you can see that she's lying about this. At least it appears to be. At least as the investigation is going on, it looks more and more clearly that she is yet another one of these crazy leftists who does this type of stuff. Then her parents, because this had made this whole story about her with the post office scandal was making local news. Then her parents come to the media in the local news and say, well, Rachel Dolezal, she is not really an African American. We are her parents. You can see that we are about as white as it gets. And here are pictures of her when she was a young girl. And you can see she looks like Swiss Miss up there. And in fact, she is part Swedish or Swiss. No, Swiss. She is part Swiss, part German, a couple of other things like this. And maybe a little smattering of Native American somewhere down there, you know. So she could be like, I guess, like Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren, she's another one. Claims that she is Indian, casino, casino owner, not dothead, wagon burner, if you will. So anyway, this is the same kind of a thing. Now, it gets a little bit more complicated as the story goes on. The parents appear to be the root of all of these problems because they were one of these lefty, Whitelandia kind of liberal parents who adopted all of these Haitian little kids and had them raise alongside their biological children, and look at how wonderful and utopian everything's going to be. And sure enough, this girl grows up with some sort of a screwed up identity complex, and she winds up thinking that she's black. She goes to a historically, I love that phrase also, the historically black colleges, one of these universities. I forgot, it's Howard. I think it's Howard. She got some degree in black studies, some useless degree in black studies. And then she goes and marries a black guy. She winds up having kids with him, and then he divorces her, and that's when she fell off the deep end. She started to crimp her hair. She started to get these self-tanning things where she's looking like she's getting darker and darker as the days go by, and she's calling herself African American at that point. Now, also, it turns out to be that she winds up. Well, actually, before we get into that, the hair. That's another thing. I mean, I don't know. When talking about identity and all this kind of stuff, I don't know. It looks to me that she does look more like, not really African American, but she does look more like Sideshow Bob. And I don't know why anybody else has brought this up. But you could definitely put the pictures of Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons right next to her as the way that she currently looks. And there's a very, very striking resemblance between the two of them. It's very bizarre. But she was also going around on